What would happen if Mr. Beast's YouTube career became the source of his power? How overpowered would he be? In the Manhwa leveling up with likes, that's exactly what happens. Let's jump right in. In a blazing burst of light, the world was forever changed. The aftermath? A desolate wasteland ravaged by destruction. But just when hope seemed lost, mysterious gates materialized out of thin air, unleashing hordes of monstrous creatures upon humanity. It was a dire situation, but fear not. Humans discovered newfound powers, earning them the coveted title of Awakeners. As they valiantly fought back against the monsters, they stumbled upon an unexpected reward. Defeating these fearsome creatures yielded incredible drops, worth millions in valuable materials. The allure of these riches blinded humans to their own greed, turning the struggle for survival into an exhilarating hunt for monsters. Thus, the Awakeners transformed into fearless hunters, embarking on epic quests to secure their bountiful rewards. But the hunters weren't alone in their mission. Alongside them stood a group of dedicated allies known as hunter assistants. These unsung heroes, lending their support and expertise, played a vital role in the grand scheme of things. Our protagonist, Jicheok Yum, found himself in the ranks of the Cleaners, a specialized team responsible for processing the remains of defeated monsters. Eager to rise in fame and level, Jicheok tackled his daily routine with gusto. However, deep within, he carried the memory of a cherished moment from his childhood. Once upon a time, a young Jicheok sat on a bench with his grandfather, relishing the taste of ice cream. With a twinkle in his eye, his grandfather assured him that the future held great promise, encouraging him to persevere. As if in a puff of magic, the grandfather disappeared, leaving behind only his uplifting words and a thumbs up, a nod to Jicheok's very name. Haunted by the mysterious vanishing act, Jicheok scoured the neighborhood in search of his beloved grandfather. Suddenly, he heard a distant echo of his grandfather's voice, repeating the comforting words he had shared long ago, and just like that, reality faded, giving way to a small room where it became clear that it had all been a dream. Now a grown 28-year-old, Jicheok went about his daily routine, pumping himself up with optimism for the day ahead. He pondered whether he had lived a good life thus far, reminiscing about his grandfather's mischievous nature, like the time he sneakily swiped a frozen yogurt from someone's delivery bag, only to be scolded in front of young Jicheok. In the midst of his introspection, Jicheok boarded a bus, only to hear a public announcement about the diversion of certain motorway sections due to the gate's destructive emergence. When the gates had initially appeared, cities worldwide had been thrown into chaos. But now, thanks to the invention of barrier stones, the gates were kept away from the heart of the cities, allowing people to adjust to a semblance of their former lives. Arriving at the designated meeting point for the third hunter assistant team, Jicheok geared up for another day's work. Within the depths of completed dungeons, hunters left behind a trail of monster corpses for the assistants to process. Some complaints arose due to the sheer quantity and putrid quality of these remains, as the bodily fluids emitted a foul odor capable of permeating any gas mask. Nevertheless, Jicheok persevered, skillfully completing the gruesome task of corpse processing. His dedication and high-quality work earned him the admiration of his fellow assistants. Little did he know that this admiration would manifest in the most unexpected way. As he diligently toiled, a sudden pop-up window materialized before Jicheok. It displayed the number of likes he had garnered, and hinted at the interest of an enigmatic unknown god in our unsuspecting protagonist. Startled, Jicheok fumbled with his gear, and in that moment fragments of light encircled him, causing a surge of both fear and curiosity. The outcome? His destiny now hung in the balance, waiting to unfold. Before we continue, let's take a moment to answer the question of the day. Which Manhwa series has the most intricate and well thought out world building? Comment down below for a chance to be shouted out. Now back to the recap. His body suddenly ignites with an intense heat, a sign of awakening like nothing he's ever felt before. His teammates, genuinely concerned, ask if he's alright, but he brushes it off with a casual, "It's nothing," not wanting to burden them. Yet deep down, a strange numbness creeps into his feet, leaving him unsettled. Sensing his struggle, his teammates offer some friendly advice, urging him to take it easy and avoid pushing himself too hard. After all, injuries seem to be rampant these days, and caution is key. Frustration bubbles within him as he sees no need to make a fuss, and he resolves to clear his mind. To his surprise, the body cam strapped to his chest, a device meant to monitor assistance and prevent resource theft, is fully operational and transmitting in real time. The experience of awakening has always been the stuff of legends and hunter gossip, but now that he's living it, he can't help but feel a mix of awe and strangeness. It puzzles Mr. Jichok because awakenings typically happen to people in their mid-20s or younger. However, last year, a 31-year-old awakener shattered expectations and claimed the title of Oldest Awakener. Amidst his thoughts, GodTube incessantly nags him to check the status window, prompting his comrades to call him out, urging him to wrap up the cleaning and move on. As hunters, they enjoy numerous privileges bestowed upon them by the government, immunity, pensions, and even the freedom to bear arms. But with those privileges come responsibilities. If a gate emerges within a certain radius of their residence, hunters must swiftly respond, for nothing comes without a price in this world. Before Mr. Jichok could finish eavesdropping, his surroundings transform, transporting him to a whole new world. His comrades congratulate him on a job well done, earning him a point for his sincerity, along with an additional bonus of 3 points. With a total of 17 points, he feels a sense of accomplishment. However, upon returning home, his search for medicine reveals an unfortunate truth: there's none left. The thought of embarking on another hunting expedition fills him with apprehension. 3 days of bed rest, bodily aches, and the unpredictable dangers of the hunt make it a challenging and risky endeavour to undertake regularly. Then, out of the blue, GodTube appears, seeking his confirmation. Confusion washes over him. Why would God ask for his input? He's aware that a select few have been chosen by God and awakened, but he never expected to be one of them. Rumours of God's existence shook the world to its core, challenging preconceived notions. What added to the astonishment was the concept of selection, protection, and even empowerment for the awakened. Intrigued, he decides to open the system, and to his amazement it works seamlessly. GodTube reveals that he has been selected as the social star of GodTube, capturing God's interest. The mission is clear: he must collect thumbs from others, as each thumbs up converts into valuable points that can enhance his strength and abilities. Our hero has leveled up in the world of GodTube and can now purchase incredible stats with likes. Talk about a game changer. But becoming a social star on GodTube is still a riddle he needs to solve. As he ponders over his next move, our hero realizes that awakening is not enough. He needs a strategy. At first he contemplates increasing his health and strength to battle potential monsters, but after observing skilled hunters in action, he notices the importance of magic. Many hunters fall short despite their skills because they lack that magical touch. With this revelation, he decides to prioritize boosting his magic stats. In a daring move, he invests 15 precious likes into his magical knowledge, and voila, his understanding of magic skyrockets. It turns out that magic not only enhances strength and durability, but also unlocks mind-blowing skills. Upgrading his magic to an impressive F+ rank leaves him with only 2 likes to spare. Talk about an efficient use of resources. Eager to explore more possibilities, our hero ventures into the skills shop, and is left flabbergasted by what he finds. The inventory is overflowing with extraordinary abilities. One item catches his eye: the Heavenly Demon 1 flash attacks, a legendary sword capable of slashing through dimensions. To wield such power, he'll need swordsmanship skills surpassing SS rank. Then there's the Serenade of the Archangel, a healing melody said to cure all ailments and curses. Mastering it could even bring back the dead. Yet the price tag remains a mystery, dangling in tantalizing uncertainty. Feeling a mix of excitement and exhaustion from these fantastical prospects, our hero asks the system to reveal the cost. Could it be possible? Could this mythical treasure be his for just 2 likes? The system responds, revealing a staggering array of 358 skills available for 2 likes. Our hero's mind races with possibilities. But wait, there's more. The system unveils practical skills to improve his everyday life. Breathing exercises grant him optimal health, banishing muscle pain and fatigue after long walks. Even his digestion becomes a breeze, no more upset stomachs or embarrassing situations. And here comes the unexpected twist: massage skills. Our hero realizes that this talent not only aids blood circulation and his own well-being, but also holds the key to gaining likes. A single massage earns him a thumbs up, and with 2 thumbs up, the likes start pouring in. Determined to unlock this golden skill, our hero wastes no time and visits the Hunter Assistant head office the next day. With a warm greeting to his comrades, who are impressed by his diligence, he engages in a friendly conversation with Mr. Kim. As they chat, our hero pitches the idea of uploading bodycam videos, just like other hunters do on their channels. However, Mr. Kim expresses concerns about confidentiality. Despite the uncertainty, their conversation ends on a positive note, with Mr. Kim giving our hero a resounding thumbs up. It's lunchtime at the cafeteria, the perfect moment for some tasty food and interesting conversations. The hunters gather around, eager to indulge in a delicious side dish. But there's a catch. If they eat too much, they might encounter a peculiar problem. their ability to eat after touching some spine-chilling corpses. Talk about a spooky lunch break. Amidst the chatter, Mr. Kim raises an intriguing question. Should he ask the head office for permission to privately broadcast his adventures with a body cam? The rumours are spreading like wildfire, reaching everyone's ears. It doesn't matter who hears them, they all feel the urge to join forces and make it happen if the request is granted. After all, their motto is, united we stand, divided we fall. It's unanimous, they're up for the challenge and ready to have a blast. And hey, speaking up is encouraged, so no need to hold back. To show their support, all the uncles gather around Mr. Kim. He proudly announces that he's picked up a few massage techniques and invites his comrades to experience his newfound skills. During the lunch break, he treats his friends to a mesmerizing display of his massage prowess. With hands that seem to move on their own, he starts gently, but as his skills activate, something extraordinary happens. Suddenly, Mr. Kim's hands are drawn to an unusual spot, his waist. It's a surprising twist, as it could have been painful, but instead, it feels incredible. He's completely oblivious to the sensation. After massaging his friends, he receives 3 thumbs up, leaving him wondering if he accidentally activated a calming massage technique. The best part? This passive skill doesn't require any magical power. However, Ji-chok discovers that by infusing magic into his hands during a massage, he can enhance the effects. The system is impressed with his ability to improve the health of his patients and rewards him with a skill bonus. The rank of his massage skill rises, and its healing power increases significantly, now reaching a remarkable rank D. Word of his amazing massage skills spreads quickly, even outside the lunch break. After working hours, Ji-chok receives 34 points at the Hunter Assistant Team headquarters. Encouraged by this success, they all band together to request body cams. But when they approach the Resource Collection Department team leader, they realize there are others who need to be involved in the decision. To their surprise, the department leader singles out Ji-chok and asks him to stay while the rest are asked to leave. The department leader expresses their support for Ji-chok, but they have a special favor to ask. They have been searching for the right person for a while, and now they believe Ji-chok is the perfect fit. The offer comes with an enticing incentive. No need to share the profits. It's all for Ji-chok. They want him to create a spectacle, like his older siblings did before him. Their request is simple. They want him to shoot something that will go viral and explode the view count. However, Ji-chok declines the offer, believing that it's best to involve an expert for such endeavors. He argues that the more challenging and rugged the environment, the better the content will be. The manager understands his perspective but insists on offering a down payment. Ji-chok turns it down, knowing that it would leave traces of funds that could complicate matters at this stage. However, the manager promises substantial rewards once Ji-chok reaches the next level of his journey. Ji-chok's colleagues can't stop bragging about their company's stellar ratings. They claim to be the absolute legends of professionalism, never wasting a second on useless speeches and always staying focused on work. Mr. Kim, doubting their acceptance, was in for a surprise. Turns out these folks are surprisingly open-minded when it comes to their craft. They even granted permission for an epic video, and get this, they won't charge a dime. But hold up, it gets even crazier. Ji-chok recalls receiving a special gift from the Resource Collection Department team leader, an ultra-cool micro bodycam typically used by hunters. This bad boy can withstand anything, from intense fights to extreme conditions. With this little gadget, Ji-chok can now capture his adventures on film, no matter how crazy things get. Just when Ji-chok was engrossed in reading the automatic data transfer, things took a hairpin turn. The car suddenly started shaking like a roller coaster ride gone wrong. Before he knew it, the bus flipped, causing him excruciating pain, and oh boy, blood started gushing out. It felt like his body was put through a blender. But guess what? Ji-chok doesn't let adversity get the best of him. Drawing upon his massage skills, he first tends to his own battered body, and then, being the superhero he is, he lends a helping hand to others injured on the bus. Talk about going above and beyond. Amidst the chaos, Ji-chok stumbles upon a seriously gnarly wound he never could have imagined. However, instead of panicking, he takes a deep breath and calmly tends to the injured person, ensuring they receive the best treatment possible. And guess what? The system shows that the wounds are already starting to heal. No more abnormal conditions or fainting spells. Ji-chok's massage proficiency is skyrocketing. Ji-chok sensed something explosive in the air, but instead of rushing outside to investigate, they hesitated. After all, there could be dangerous creatures lurking beyond the door. Safety first, they decided. Ji-chok suggested waiting a little while longer, holding off on any immediate actions. Once they finished administering first aid, Ji-chok planned to venture outside. Interestingly, their massage skills had leveled up, granting them an additional perk. From now on, every massage they performed would earn them an automatic thumbs up. Talk about popularity. One of the passengers on the bus remarked how fortunate they were to have a healer-type awakener in their midst. It made the whole experience quite enjoyable. Though it was just basic first aid, Jichok couldn't help but get a bit distracted. Suddenly they remembered something important. Had they accidentally turned on their camera? Apparently the camera would activate in the presence of strong shocks or monsters. Jichok asked everyone if they felt uncomfortable, but to their relief, everyone seemed fine. Jichok instructed the others to remain where they were while they went to assess the situation outside. Stepping out, they were met with a pungent odor of burnt skin, blood, and oil. It was clear that something extraordinary had happened. The waves emanating from the gate were unlike anything they had ever encountered before, and to make matters more intense, a gate had materialized right in the heart of Seoul. Realizing the safety of the bus passengers depended on their knowledge, Jichok took a moment to gather their thoughts. They had to tap into their training as an assistant and act swiftly. Recognizing the approaching goblins as mere scouts, Jichok understood that the true threat lay in their return to the gate. The government would surely dispatch skilled hunters to handle the situation in Seoul, but until then, it was up to Jichok to do everything they could. Their advice to the others was simple: run as far as possible, seek shelter in nearby government buildings, and stay safe. As they spoke, the goblins suddenly closed in on Jichok, but instead of panicking, they reminded themselves to remain calm. They still had plenty of time. Jichok accessed the system and decided to purchase some skills from the shop. The system suggested acquiring a fortune-themed ability, considering Jichok's penchant for strength. Opening the beginner's package, they were granted 2 useful skills. Additionally, a basic equipment set appeared, boosting their item drop rate and enhancing skill proficiency. Thanks to these beginner skills, Jichok could engage in battles without losing their sanity, always maintaining a stable composure and resisting low-level mental magic. The more attacks they blocked, the stronger their defense and endurance would become. With the beginner's package and its effects now activated, Jichok felt a surge of newfound power. A sprout sprang up on his head like a quirky badge proudly proclaiming his beginner status. Jichok couldn't help but ponder the absurdity of the strange effect bestowed upon him after acquiring the beginner's skill. Uncertainty gripped him, questioning whether he was truly prepared for the upcoming battle, still unaccustomed to his newfound abilities. Surprisingly, a whopping 127 likes adorned his character, earned through store purchases. It seemed his shopping spree hadn't gone unnoticed. But strength mattered most to Jichok, since he lacked the luxury of AoE magic or flashy skills. With determination, he allocated all his remaining points, propelling his D-rank strength to the next level. Suddenly, a surge of power surged through his veins, infusing his entire body. It felt as though he possessed the strength to shatter a goblin's skull with ease. Emerging from his preparations, ready to confront the goblins, he noticed a group of people still lingering, oblivious to the impending danger. His first battle commenced, catching him off guard as the trio of foes launched a surprise attack. In an amusing twist of fate, Jichok fought with surprising finesse, despite his novice status. Was it the heightened strength, or perhaps the beginner's skills? Blocking his opponent's strikes felt instinctual, as if his body had already adapted to the newly acquired abilities. With an air of tranquility, he adeptly engaged one goblin in close combat, his mind surprisingly serene amidst the chaos. It made him wonder how seasoned hunters fought so effortlessly, realizing the value of the beginner's package. With renewed confidence, he took on the remaining 2 goblins, their agile movements no match for his skill. Yet, in comparison to the scouts he had observed, they seemed almost sluggish. His strength shone through as he swiftly dispatched them with a well-aimed swing of his sword, signifying the end of the trio of goblins. After his epic battle, our hero's swordplay and shield skills increased by 1. The way he held his ground, unfazed by the goblin horde, earned him major points, and guess what? Thumbs up emojis rained down on his achievement, but the mystery remained. Who were these admirers? It didn't take long for him to figure out that his skills were skyrocketing thanks to the gratitude of the citizens he had saved. The system was like his biggest fan club, reflecting the people's thankfulness. Even the onlookers couldn't resist praising his valor. But wait, there was a twist. Despite his heroic feats, the levels refused to budge. It turned out that defeating more goblins wasn't the key to leveling up. The real power-up came from those precious likes. Forget XP, it was all about those digital hearts. However, with fame came new concerns. He wondered what would happen if someone met their end in one of these battles. Would his likes still come rolling in, or would the cheer turn into fear? The unknown kept him on his toes. Driven to improve his combat prowess, he embarked on a shopping spree in search of powerful skills. The aggro skill was top priority, a game changer that could control the battlefield with its massive area effect. Not to mention his flashy new move, the telekinesis arrow. Talk about leveling up with style. But using such powerful skills had a price, as he unleashed Scream of the Wild to distract the goblins and then went for the telekinesis arrow. His head felt like it was ready to launch into orbit. The mana drain was real, and he was down to just a trickle of magical energy. Undeterred, he invested half of his hard-earned money in mana-boosting items. His headache vanished like magic, and he was back in the game. Government helicopters are swooping in for a heroic rescue, but where are the hunters? Jichok knows he can't take on the darkness alone, and that's why he's willing to pay those hard-earned taxes. I mean, come on, he's been battling goblins all day long, and he deserves a little backup, right? Just when Jichok thinks the cavalry has arrived with those huge figures approaching, guess what? Surprise! It's a whole new breed of monster he's never seen before. The mighty orcs. They're everywhere, they're fierce, and they're making Jichok's life a whole lot more interesting. But fear not. The citizens have evacuated, and the hunters have finally shown up to save the day. Jichok is a hero in their eyes as he rescues a grateful couple who want to shower him with money for saving the pregnant wife. Yet our humble hero declines their generous offer. The persistent couple insists, though, wanting to show their gratitude. It's a little embarrassing for Jichok because he's just doing what he's supposed to, telling them not to worry and to get tested. But little does he know, his integrity has impressed the citizens so much that he racks up 100 points, and the points just keep on coming. Another man approaches Jichok, singing praises for his responsive attitude, and adds 30 more points to his score. Even the man he saved admits his fears about the hunters arriving too late, but this time the casualties have been kept to a minimum. Phew, now here's the plot twist. Jichok may have recently awakened, but boy does he have some serious skills. The public official is in awe of his multiple talents, considering him as rare as a unicorn. Then an organizer pops up, promising to gather all the loot Jichok acquired from slaying monsters and send it his way. Talk about a monster loot delivery service. With everything settling down, Jichok gets to go home and rest. But hold up, the system isn't done with him yet. It showers him with 100 more points, and then comes the ultimate quest. Upload a video of his heroic deeds on YouTube to earn even more points and unlock beginner skills. Jichok's eyes widen with excitement as he sees the list of skills, each one more awesome than the last. A rock-solid mind, sword mastery, and a shield worth its weight in gold. Now let's be real here. Jichok isn't exactly a tech wizard, so he simply uploads the raw footage without any fancy editing. Jichok had a wild dream where his grandpa whisked him away to the emergency room, desperate to bring down his fever. But Jichok, being a stubborn kid, didn't want to be intubated by the nurse. Leave it to his grandpa to come up with a crazy idea. He told Jichok that getting shot would magically cure his fever, and even promised him an ice cream afterward. Of course, his grandpa bought him that ice cream and left him with a heartfelt wish for good health. But then, reality hit Jichok like a ton of bricks. His phone started beeping, and it was Mr. Kim on the line, fuming because Jichok had disappeared when he still had work to finish. Jichok couldn't quite believe it, but Mr. Kim kept insisting that he was on the news. In a state of shock, Jichok hurriedly ended the call, and there it was, on the television screen. Jichok saw himself fighting goblins, but the resolution was disappointingly low. The reporter's voice filled the room, sharing the incredible story of a hunter who had recently emerged and saved countless lives. They speculated that Jichok might possess 3 amazing skills: healing, super strength, and magic. People in the city were thanking him for their survival, and some even claimed he vanished without a trace. To protect his privacy, the authorities had made his hunter information private under the Personal Privacy Act. But that didn't stop the video of his heroic acts from going viral on social media. It seemed like everyone had watched it, and the view count was skyrocketing. Jichok realized the footage was captured from his body cam and uploaded while he slept. As he checked his system, Jichok was blown away. He had received 80,000 likes and counting. The number of subscribers and views was soaring too. His video, posted just the night before, had already racked up a staggering 3.5 million views and 200,000 subscribers. It was unbelievable to him, considering the countless other videos of people saving lives out there. But the system informed him that likes didn't necessarily correlate with views, and he appreciated the overwhelming response nonetheless. Still dazed, Jichok couldn't wrap his head around the fact that he had become an overnight YouTube sensation, and just when he thought things couldn't get any stranger, someone knocked on his door. That was a rarity in Jichok's life, so he swung the door open and was left utterly astonished by what he saw. After stumbling upon the remarkable barrier stone that effectively halted the gates from opening, humanity strategically positioned these stones in densely populated cities. Since then, not a single gate has opened in the heart of any city. During a captivating TV interview, the host quizzes his guest about the astonishment surrounding the barrier stone and the enigmatic goblins. The interviewee confesses that their ongoing research has yet to yield any concrete findings. Meanwhile, the funds allocated for acquiring more barrier stones have been steadily dwindling, having decreased by a staggering 50%. If this policy remains unchanged, who's to say that similar situations won't arise elsewhere? It's a precarious predicament, as obtaining the barrier stone is of utmost importance. However, it's in high demand worldwide, and its exorbitant price tag makes it anything but easy to obtain. Typically, acquiring the stone is only possible by conquering a 3-star dungeon, a daunting task reserved for awakeners of level 100 or higher. The organization concedes that there is a possibility, but here's the catch. Only 30 guilds can successfully clear 3-star dungeons, and fewer than 5 teams can handle the 4-star challenges. Clearing a 5-star dungeon in their country is simply out of the question. The urgency to secure barrier stones is a matter of life or death, and they desperately require assistance from government initiatives. The gravity of the situation becomes increasingly apparent, and the interviewer is eager to gauge the citizens' reactions. Enter Jichok, who opens his door to find the team leader standing there, leaving him dumbfounded. He stammers, questioning how the team leader knew his address. Embarrassed by his messy bachelor's pad, Jichok sheepishly requests a minute to tidy up. The team leader graciously accepts, understanding the awkwardness of his unexpected visit. In a thoughtful gesture, the team leader presents Jichok with a small gift, impressing him by noting his neatness. Meanwhile, the system reveals that Jihanjeon is amazed by Jichok's character, resulting in Jichok receiving a like. As Jichok ushers his guest inside, he can't help but feel jittery, aware that in the eyes of the world, he's just a regular citizen. However, the revelation that the team leader is also an awakener shakes Jichok to the core. The team leader describes their encounter with a challenging dungeon, a thrilling experience they never thought they'd have. If only the formidable main unit monsters hadn't appeared, the situation wouldn't have escalated so dramatically. The reporter commends the team leader's subordinate for buying them precious time. Yet, the team leader expresses discomfort with the term subordinate, highlighting their equal footing. Astonishingly, the team leader discloses that they've kept their awakening abilities a secret from the outside world. Unbeknownst to the team leader, Jichok is also an awakener, and witnessing the team leader's dedication in the last scene fuels his inspiration. Jichok humbly interjects, explaining that he barely survived thanks to the timely arrival of other hunters. Bluntly, the team leader confesses that he barged into Jichok's home because he wants to make him an offer. Although Jichok is a mere hunter assistant and a non-regular employee, his awakener status should elevate him to full-fledged hunter status. Therefore, the team leader proposes signing a contract with him. Astonished and flattered, Jichok finds himself in disbelief as the third-generation scion of the prestigious Jongha company personally scouts him. It's an unprecedented opportunity, since talented rookies are often overlooked. Jichok, overwhelmed, can only manage a bewildered response, admitting that the sudden offer catches him off guard. The understanding team leader agrees, urging Jichok to take his time to contemplate the proposal. Despite being the ones extending the offer, Jichok can't help but feel intimidated, silently urging himself to muster confidence. He expresses gratitude to the team leader while requesting some time to review the terms and conditions first. Jihanjeon, the team leader, accepts Jichok's request, emphasizing the importance of discussing the details thoroughly. Jichok notices that Jihanjeon employs a skill to assess the sincerity of his words, a high-ranking ability. Curious about how Jichok can discern the skills being used on him, he wonders if it's his unique system that grants him insight into people's moods and statuses. In an attempt to resist, Jichok activates his beginner's skill and fortifies his resolve. However, his resistance proves futile, as his rank falls short. Realizing he shouldn't lie, Jichok decides to be honest with the team leader. To his relief, Jihanjeon understands Jichok's concerns and affirms his desire to offer him everything their company can provide. Jichok resolves to share only the truth and strive for what he truly deserves. Jihanjong adds that hybrid-type awakeners, like Jichok, are highly sought after and promises to provide him with the compensation he deserves. Eager to explore the possibilities, Jihanjong inquires about Jichok's desired conditions. Jichok, yearning for maximum benefits commensurate with his abilities, admits his uncertainty about the extent of his potential growth. Once again, Jihanjong employs his skill, evaluating Jichok's sincerity, and confirms that there are no lies, only genuine apprehension. According to Jihanjong, there are positions available for close combat, long-range prowess, and even healing, and there's an undisclosed opportunity that Jichok has yet to discover. The burning question remains, how does he know all this? In the previous chapter, our team leader presented Jichok with an intriguing offer, but remained undecided about it. Now get ready for some exciting developments in this chapter. Brace yourself as Jihanjong surprises Jichok with a staggering 2 million as a down payment. You can only imagine Jichok's disbelief as a newbie when he hears the price. But that's not all. The contract, if he accepts, spans 5 years, with Jichok being assigned battles by the company twice a month. And get this, the ratio of items earned will be a jaw-dropping 9-1. Talk about an incredible opportunity. But hold on tight because there's more. Jichok's attention is instantly captivated by the 9 additional parts of the contract. It's like an absurd and dreamlike condition that he never imagined. As if that wasn't enough, the company even offers support for his younger sibling's law school tuition. They heard that Jichok's sibling had to give up on university due to the financial burden. Talk about going above and beyond. Naturally, upon learning about this unexpected turn of events, Jichok is left astonished. Jianzhong's company is like an investigation agency, and they seem to have high expectations from Jichok. Not only do they provide the generous down payment and support for his sibling, but they also offer him a dedicated manager for assistance. It's clear they see great potential in our protagonist. Jichok finds himself questioning if this newfound situation is too good to be true. Can someone's life really change this drastically in just one day, all because of a broadcast appearance? Jianzhong, understanding Jichok's disbelief, decides to give him some time to process the offer. After all, it's a decision that shouldn't be made lightly. Jichok feels sorry for Jianzhong, who went out of his way to visit personally, but he can't provide an immediate answer. Fortunately, Jianzhong is understanding and emphasizes the importance of careful consideration. Surprisingly, Jianzhong reveals that preparations for Jichok's contract have already begun. It's not the time for tricks or games. This is a genuine opportunity. Jichok realizes that things are escalating quickly, and he wonders if he should explore other conditions as well. Offering his presence for future discussions, Jichok leaves Jianzhong to his preparations, knowing they will contact him again when ready. Days pass, and the chosen meeting place for the crucial discussion is the auditorium within the dorm. Excitement fills the air, as Jichok Yum becomes the hottest topic in the company. He possesses a unique hybrid skill set, capable of close combat, ranged attacks, and even healing. What's more, he displayed an unwavering fighting spirit, battling scout goblins right after awakening. It's no wonder he has become the perfect rookie, with an inspiring story that has captured everyone's attention. Yet, Jichok's youth adds an element of concern and worry. As the clock ticks, Daehyun company manager Hyunjin Choi can't help but feel anxious and stressed. Reading the feedback from the manager-director about Jichok only adds to her worries. However, Jongha company remains confident, urging calmness in their actions. Meanwhile, Managing Director Hansel Kim's feedback raises concerns about maintaining proper etiquette. The stakes are high for both companies, and any misstep could have severe consequences. Hyunjin Choi suspects that Jihanjeon intends to turn it into an auction-like scenario to apply pressure, but she remains unfazed. With a decade of experience, she won't be easily intimidated. With just 10 minutes left, the organizers announce their readiness as the event is about to begin. Among the buzz, a reporter shares how the director expressed a strong conviction in choosing Jichok, urging the reporter to secure him at all costs. However, doubts arise regarding the adequacy of the managing director's offer. Hyunjin Choi, having reviewed Jichok's profile, discovers that he has no parents or relatives, only a younger sibling attending law school. Despite the challenges, they cherish each other dearly. Notably, Jichok's sibling attends the prestigious K school, known for its close ties with their company. Hyunjin Choi takes note of this as she makes her decision. As the 30-minute time limit expires, Jihanjeon announces that everyone should have made their decisions regarding the offer. It's now time to reveal which path the Daehyun company will take. What will happen next? Find out next time by staying tuned for our future recaps. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more great recaps.
Welcome back. Last time our protagonist was getting ready for the many offers coming his way to join a group. It all started with the Daehyun group, the powerhouse in construction, stepping up to the plate. Leading the charge was the dynamic Hoonjin Choi, manager of their external sales department. She kicked off the conversation with a bang, proposing an irresistible deal to win over Ji Cheok. To catch Ji Cheok's attention, she suggested a jaw-dropping down payment of 4 billion won. But that's not all. This contract would span 5 years, with a fantastic 85-15 ratio of items earned. And wait for it, Daehyun Group was even ready to support Ji Cheok's younger brother in pursuing a law degree at the prestigious K University. They weren't cutting any corners either, providing a generous housing allowance. Hold on tight because we're just getting started. Not to be outdone, the Jongha Group, renowned worldwide in their field, stepped up next. Jihan Jong, their charismatic representative, unveiled an offer that would make anyone's head spin. Brace yourself. Ji Cheok was promised a mind-boggling $8 billion in down payments. As if that weren't enough, they threw in a rare gemstone called a B-grade awakening stone, capable of awakening ordinary folks. Talk about unlocking hidden potential. With these tempting offers on the table, Ji Cheok found himself in a tough spot. He was unsure of his abilities and uncertain about which path to choose. However, our hero managed to keep his cool, drawing strength from the countless hunter corpses he had bravely collected. That's one way to maintain composure. But wait, the excitement doesn't end there. While Ji Cheok took some time to mull over his options and consult with his brothers, the participating companies were asked to summarize their contract terms. Before we continue, let's take a moment to answer the question of the day. If you could revive one deceased character from a Manhwa series, who would it be? Comment down below for a chance to be shouted out. Now back to the recap. In a room filled with anticipation, Jian Jiang handed his brother a contract that could awaken their dormant powers. But oh boy, that document was thick. Ji Cheok couldn't help but express his reservations. He wanted to protect his brother after all. Understanding his concern, Jihan Jiang reassured him, having already given Ji Cheok plenty of space to make his own choices. After some contemplation, Ji Cheok decided to take the plunge and signed the Awakener contract. And what a sweet deal it was. He received a whopping 8 billion won as a down payment, along with a shiny B-rank awakening stone. Suddenly, the future seemed full of possibilities. However, Ji Cheok wasn't quite sold on where to sign the contract after awakening. It was as if all the unfavorable terms magically disappeared. Maybe luck was on his side, and he could snag an even better A-rank contract. Before bidding Ji Cheok farewell, Jihan Jiang wished him all the best. And as a parting gift, he left Ji Cheok with a mysterious present, instructing him to open it upon his return. Excitement tingled in the air as the brothers prepared to leave. But wait, who's that? It's Hoonjin Choi, the manager of the external sales department at Daehyun. Did she come because of the contract? Ji Cheok had already signed with the Jongha Group, but it seemed like she wanted to prevent any misunderstandings. Little did she know Jongha Group was the last place she wanted Ji Cheok to end up. Curiosity piqued. Ji Cheok asked Choi about her concerns and where they stemmed from. She explained that the company was currently embroiled in turmoil, and she worried it might be tough for Ji Cheok. To add to the intrigue, Young Jihan, their boss, was once dubbed the Jongha Group's maniac and had a mysterious past as the chairman's abandoned grandson. Ji Cheok's mind swirled with suspicions. While he had heard whispers about other company scions, he realized he knew little about Jung Jihan. Perhaps his sudden appearance after lying low for so long raised some red flags. If Ji Cheok still had a hot temper, things could get complicated. On the other hand, if he could handle it, well, that meant he was up for the challenge. As Hoonjin Choi's revelations sank in, fear crept into Ji Cheok's heart. Why hadn't Jihan Jiang and Ji Cheok himself mentioned any of this before the contract? The uncertainty was unsettling. After the unexpected conversation, Hoonjin Choi apologized for taking up his time and offered some advice, framing it as a senior hunter's concern. Ji Cheok couldn't help but oppose her, thinking she was merely worried about him. Before parting ways, Choi handed Ji Cheok her business card, just in case the contract went awry. She assured him that Daehyun Group would be there to offer better conditions if he needed it. Ji Cheok's brother, eager for answers, inquired about their conversation. Ji Cheok explained that Choi had given him the card as a precaution in case the contract was breached. It seemed like she was determined to recruit him, even after he had already signed. His brother's skepticism was palpable. Lost in thought, Ji Cheok absent-mindedly walked, his gaze fixed on the impressive building before him. He wondered if Jung Jihan truly had the intriguing backstory Choi had revealed, or if it was all just a mischievous joke. But right now, Jung Jihan looked like a handsome, picky third-generation business tycoon? It was hard to tell. Startled, Ji-cheok's brother called out to him, realizing Ji-cheok had been lost in his own world. As they continued their journey, Ji-cheok couldn't help but mull over the revelation about Jung Ji-han's family. It seemed like his father, Jung Han-gyu, the fourth son of Chairman Jung-min, was overshadowed by his talented siblings. Something fishy was going on, as an article Ji-cheok had stumbled upon had mysteriously disappeared. Perhaps the mighty Junga group had something to do with it, protecting their reputation. Amidst all the pondering, Ji-cheok finally decided to open the gift from Ji Han-jung. It appeared to be a regular watch. Ji-cheok excitedly opens up his god tube, ready to rack up some points and check out the latest appraisal skills. Money is vital for a hunter's survival, after all. You can't afford to get scammed if you stumble upon a valuable item in the dungeon. As the store page loads, he notices a significant design change. It seems bigger and more inviting. He quickly starts his search for the elusive appraisal skill. Ah, there it is. The casting time is a mere 10 seconds, and he can learn it with his current abilities. Easy peasy, right? Well, not quite. Ji-cheok's eyes widen as he sees the price tag for the coveted wise man's eyes. A whopping 100,000 points. He sighs, realizing his current stash of 108,000 points falls short. Determined to balance out his skill set, he scrolls through the options, focusing on the growth-type skills. With a mix of excitement and relief, he secures the Eye of Observation, a grade growth-type skill. It promises to unveil the essence of things, evolving into a higher level as he gains proficiency. The cost? A more manageable 1,580 points. Skill acquired. How does he actually use it? After a moment of pondering, Ji-cheok figures it out. It's as simple as thinking about what he wants to appraise, and the insights will come flooding in. With his newfound skill, he decides to put it to the test on Jung Ji-han's watch. GodTube reveals that the watch is just a plain, durable wristwatch crafted by a skilled artisan from another dimension. Waterproof and reliable, it's a perfect timepiece even for deep-sea adventures. But, disappointingly, the appraisal skill doesn't reveal any extraordinary attributes like attack or defense, just the time. Nevertheless, it's still an intriguing artifact from another realm, so Ji-cheok decides to wear it as a unique gift. Feeling a yawn coming on, he decides to check his status window to see if his hypothesis was correct. To his delight, his insight mastery receives a +3, and the beginner's bonus gets a +1. The skill's initial impact might have been modest, but with each use, it evolves and becomes more powerful. Even with adjustments to experience and item prices, the level remains fixed at 1, but he can upgrade it with the beginner's package. It's fascinating how the point-of-sale shop, with its likes-based system, differs from regular stores. Realizing that his strength doesn't solely come from hunting monsters, but also from gaining attention and likes, Ji-cheok decides to purchase a skill that top hunters on GodTube would have, the Mana Heart of Arco Dragon. This skill harnesses the heart of a magical race, the dragon, to gather mana. Intriguing, right? But wait, there's more. He also acquires the Arcane Circle of Magic Recovery, which boosts mana recovery by 200% when standing above the drawn magic circle. Plus, the Sylph's Blessing skill calls upon a group of spirits to bless him, surrounding him with a green light that amplifies his attack power and agility. Ji-cheok spends his time repeatedly using these skills to improve his proficiency. Back at his house, his bank account receives a mind-boggling deposit of 8 billion units. A call from his team leader confirms the transaction, and soon after, his brother knocks on the door, amazed at the sight of game-like money. Since they both live in rented houses, they decide it's time to find a place to live together, prioritizing a sturdy house that suits Ji-cheok's job. Just when things couldn't get any better, Ji-cheok receives a call that his written hunter examination is over. Being a former hunter assistant grants him exemption from the written test, allowing him to jump straight into the practical exams, the legendary Hunter exam, where aspiring awakeners battle their way into the esteemed agency. This high-stakes test is divided into 2 parts, a written challenge and a practical showdown. Only those who conquer both can earn their spot in the agency and embark on officially sanctioned missions under the government's watchful eye. But beware, my friends, for with great benefits come great dangers and responsibilities. But let's not forget about our hero, Ji-cheok, who finds himself in quite the pickle. Having worked as a hunter assistant before, he thought he was off the hook for the written exam. Little did he know that the assistant license test is even tougher than the hunter's written ordeal. Now poor Ji-cheok worries about hitting the books once again. It's no walk in the park, folks, especially when dealing with monster ecology, corpses, and even poison. Yikes! Luckily, the practical exam seems a bit more straightforward. All Ji-cheok has to do is head to the assigned gate and put on a show for the inspector. Simple, right? Well, as long as he doesn't mess up and cause a safety hazard, it should be a breeze. After all, they're only interested in his ability to fight and survive. Easy peasy. Or is it? We'll find out in just 2 days when Ji-cheok steps up to the challenge. Lo and behold, just when our hero thought things couldn't get any crazier, Jung Ji-han himself appears before him. That's right, folks. The cooperation agreement between Jonga Company and the trade team has ended, and Ji-cheok's caught in the middle. But fear not, for Ji-han has a proposition. If Ji-cheok spills the beans about his abilities, they'll hook him up with the perfect equipment. The more details he provides, the better the gear. Talk about a tailor-made package. Of course, if Ji-cheok prefers to keep his powers under wraps, he can do so. But Ji-han warns that secrets have a way of surfacing during battles. Better to be honest, folks. The adventure takes an unexpected turn as Ji-cheok finds himself in a serene corner of Seoul. Behold, the safe house complexes where Jonga Company's hunters reside. Ji-han reveals that Daehyun Company is snatching up talented hunters left and right, and to keep their own elite team intact, Jonga has built these impressive complexes. Talk about swanky digs, folks. Ji-cheok's eyes widen at the entrance, and Ji-han offers to put him in touch with the realtor right away. After all, who wouldn't want to call this mansion home? Sure, it's not brand new, but it's got history. Apparently, the former owner tragically met his end in a dungeon. What a story, eh? Ji-cheok gets a glimpse of the late owner in a photograph, and Ji-han spills the beans about their relationship. Turns out the owner was Ji-han's uncle's right-hand man, and they had quite the rivalry going on. Sadly, the owner perished in their feud. But fear not, my friends, for this mansion is a top-notch shelter that protects the lives of hunters. It's a rare gem in the countryside, and only a select few hunters have the privilege of calling it their refuge. And the cherry on top, folks, Ji-han is even willing to cut Ji-cheok a sweet deal on the price. And since it's tax-free to buy from hunters, it's a win-win situation. With the contract in hand, Ji-cheok takes a stroll around the impressive abode before heading off to the training center. Ji-cheok learns of the need to keep their abilities hush-hush, since the center is cleverly hidden from prying eyes. Ji-cheok takes note of the impressive facility, but can't help but notice the colorful and marked sportswear worn by the hunters. These facilities are massive, rivaling those of a major corporation, and boast optimal conditions for both hunters and trainers. It's like stepping into the headquarters of a badass superhero squad. Suddenly, his brother appears out of nowhere, catching Ji-cheok off guard. Apparently, his brother didn't breathe a word about this amazing place, or even that he would be there. As he lays eyes on his brother's transformed physique, it's clear that the training has turned him into a bona fide hunter with muscles of steel. The trainer summons Mukcheok back to his rigorous training, leaving Ji-cheok to spectate. Jung Ji-han informs Ji-cheok that one day Mukcheok will spar with a hunter. No abilities will be used, just raw physical combat skills. Ji-cheok is a bit apprehensive about an ordinary person going up against a hunter, but Jung Ji-han reassures him that it's all under control. Trust the hunters, he says. Mukcheok eagerly accepts the challenge, much to Ji-cheok's relief. As they observe the sparring match, a foreign mercenary steps forward as Mukcheok's opponent. It's not easy to find a suitable match for someone as physically gifted as Mukcheok. But man, oh man, that opponent throws a punch that sends shivers down Ji-cheok's spine. The force behind it is downright terrifying. Even though the opponent won't be using any abilities, they're still a professional hunter. Yet Mukcheok doesn't flinch, not even in the face of a battle-hardened mercenary. And boy, does that opponent look surprised too. Mukcheok defies all expectations and showcases a hidden capability that catches everyone by surprise. Despite his studious appearance and recent foray into training, Mukcheok proves himself to be a force to be reckoned with. Not only has he never faced a seasoned hunter before, but he manages to land a solid blow on his foreign opponent's jaw, leaving him unable to retaliate. As Mukcheok's attacks continue to frustrate the foreigner, it becomes clear that the Jonga Company's reputation is at stake. If the foreigner were to lose to this novice, it would undoubtedly tarnish his standing within the company. Driven by desperation, the foreigner unleashes his skills and abilities as an awakener, causing Mukcheok to pass out. The astonishing turn of events leaves everyone, especially Mukcheok's infuriated brother, in disbelief. Ji-cheok rushes to his brother's side, alarmed by the sight of him coughing up blood, determined to help. He urgently calls for medics while expressing his disbelief that his brother's opponent would resort to using his abilities when faced with defeat. The trainers try to reason that the intensity of the sparring caused an accidental use of skills, but Ji-cheok finds it hard to believe that a mistake would be accompanied by such a teasing expression. As Ji-cheok tends to his brother's injuries, applying his limited knowledge of first aid, he earns valuable proficiency experience points. However, the severity of Mukcheok's condition surpasses his expertise. The agency explains that since the foreigner is unaccustomed to sparring with ordinary individuals, controlling his abilities became a challenge. They promise to caution him about this flaw. Soon, the rescuers arrive, prompting the onlookers to make way for Mucheok's transfer. Before parting, Jicheok makes a heartfelt promise to his unconscious brother. He will ensure that Mucheok's opponent kneels before him and sincerely apologizes. With determination in his eyes, Jicheok vows that everything will be okay. In a surprising turn of events, Jung Ji-han, remorseful for their failure to manage the situation, approaches Ji-cheok and offers his apologies. However, Ji-cheok's anger flares up when Ji-han suggests settling the matter with mere compensation. Seeking justice, Ji-cheok demands the opportunity to spar with Mucheok's opponent himself. He yearns to personally receive an apology and engage in a fair fight as an awakener. In an electrifying turn of events, the fierce battle between Mucheok and his opponent Shelton takes an unexpected twist. Shelton, known for his defensive prowess, agrees to spar with Jicheok, Mucheok's rookie teammate. However, he's not willing to simply apologize if he loses. Instead, he promises to kneel and offer his heartfelt apologies, just as Jicheok desires. To level the playing field for the newly awakened Jicheok, Shelton proposes a thrilling handicap. He allows Jicheok to initiate the first 3 combos, where weapons clash against each other. Excitement fills the air as Jicheok, armed with a wooden sword and his lightning-fast gloves, eagerly prepares for close-range combat. But there's a catch. Shelton, a defensive-type awakener with a body as strong as metal, won't block Jicheok's attacks. The thrill intensifies as Jicheok seizes this opportunity, knowing he must remain vigilant despite the handicap. With every strike, he aims to overcome Shelton's defenses, but the challenge seems daunting. The rules of the showdown are crystal clear. Surrendering or reaching a state where fighting is no longer possible leads to defeat. Stepping outside the ring is also considered a loss. With both sides agreeing to the 3-combo handicap, the tension mounts as Jicheok prepares to unleash his relentless assault. Unbeknownst to Shelton, who lacks information about Jicheok, the rookie fighter unveils a surprising move. He harnesses the blessings of Sylph, a mystical spirit that bestows incredible agility and strength upon him. The crowd erupts with excitement as Jicheok's newfound power invigorates his every movement. Despite Shelton's unwavering confidence that Jicheok won't even leave a scratch on his formidable body, he bravely allows Jicheok to continue his assault until the 3 combos are completed. Anticipation fills the arena as Jicheok, his attacks infused with the energy of wind and clouds through his wind cloud walk technique, seeks to breach Shelton's defenses. Jicheok, armed with his trusty wooden sword, faced off against the relentless onslaught of Shelton's attacks. With lightning-fast reflexes, he gracefully dodged every punch and maneuver, leaving everyone around them in awe. It was hard to believe that Jicheok was just a beginner, showcasing such extraordinary skills. Shelton, underestimating Jicheok's close combat abilities, failed to gain an upper hand. Realizing that he couldn't block all of Shelton's punches, Jicheok devised a clever strategy. He targeted the weak spots in Shelton's iron body, aiming to deliver a decisive blow using a volley of precisely aimed arrows. As the fight reached its climax, Shelton found himself unable to continue. Concerned spectators intervened, fearing Jicheok's potential to deliver a fatal blow. Despite their best efforts, calming down Jicheok proved to be a challenge. It was only when the team leader stepped in, restraining and soothing him, that the situation finally settled. During his recovery, Jicheok overheard the astonished whispers of onlookers. They couldn't fathom that this seemingly ordinary rookie had emerged as an unstoppable opponent. Regardless of whether he possessed any innate talent or extraordinary skills, Jicheok's movements and defensive blocks were nothing short of incredible. His experience and intuition in selecting the right skills at the right time were truly remarkable. Those who had witnessed the battle were left in disbelief, wondering if Jicheok was somehow protected by a divine entity. How else could he have seamlessly utilized a combination of spirit skills, shadow skills at the same time? Jung Ji-han's sister, Biga Jung, makes an unexpected entrance. Born out of wedlock, she was the prodigious child of the second son of Jongga Company and the foremost mechanical master in Seoul. Biga Jong had reached the pinnacle of mechanical magic, and she wowed everyone with her latest creation, a stealth-equipped drone. To Jung Ji-han's surprise, his sister appeared out of nowhere and found herself captivated by the intense battle between Jicheok and Shelton. However, there was a catch. Ji-han's sister desired both Jicheok and Mucheok, but they were bound by their grandfather's rule. Family members were off limits for romantic pursuits. Biga Jong possessed a remarkable spy drone, capable of revealing detailed information and skills of individuals. She was astounded by Jicheok's abilities and his possession of a Class B awakening stone. With her support, Jicheok had the potential to maximize his powers, which greatly excited her. The trio, Jicheok, Jung Ji-han, and Biga Jong, decided to visit the emergency medical center to check on Mucheok's condition. Biga Jong possessed a unique ability to breathe life into machines and living beings. Her genius in magic engineering allowed even non-awakened individuals to utilize their dormant abilities. According to a theory, The awakening stone responded more strongly to desperate individuals, and human happiness played a crucial role in unlocking one's true potential. Bigajong devised a plan to awaken Mucheok, even though his body wasn't fully prepared. Craftily, Bigajong convinced Jicheok that Mucheok was physically ready for awakening. Grateful for her help, Jicheok thanked her and offered his assistance in return. In response, Bigajong asked for two simple things as expiation. Firstly, she wanted Jicheok to personally remind Jongjihan to keep his promise. Secondly, she proposed the creation of a mukbang cooking channel on YouTube with Jicheok's younger brother, where they would willingly invest their time and money. The conditions of the contract were favorable, as Bigajong believed that people would be captivated by the simple act of watching them eat, even if it was just chocolate pie. Mucheok, a brave soul, boldly volunteered to be Bigajong's human experiment. He craved unparalleled strength, even though the procedure was risky and not approved by the country, meaning no insurance coverage. Talk about living life on the edge. Now picture this. Mucheok had a dream where he and his brother appeared as adorable little versions of themselves. In the dream, he was desperately hungry and clung to Jicheok, begging for some delicious ham. Being the awesome brother that he is, Jicheok quickly whipped up a scrumptious ham and cut it into pieces, trying to satisfy Mucheok's hunger. But hold on tight because things took a bizarre turn. The ham suddenly transformed into something strange, and poof, Jicheok vanished into thin air. Imagine Mucheok's confusion and panic as he found himself in a rapidly solidifying place, with a mysterious creature lurking about. He sprinted frantically, desperately calling out for his brother, clueless about what to do next. Just when things seemed hopeless, an eccentric old man sporting a fancy Macintosh coat strutted onto the scene. He skeptically questioned whether a young chap like Mucheok could access the enigmatic Akashic records. As luck would have it, since Mucheok had reached the land of righteousness, he was entitled to receive a special gift. With a heart full of desperation, Mucheok pleaded for anything that could aid him in locating his lost brother. However, the old man revealed a shocking truth. Mucheok's origin from ink made it tricky to assist him with the singularity conundrum. Nevertheless, this wise yet quirky fellow conjured up a mesmerizing power from his hand, causing Mucheok to vanish from sight. Mucheok woke up, his mind filled with the euphoria of success. Bigajong's elation was evident as she saw Mucheok return from his first test, the initial experiment having gone splendidly. She couldn't help but ask if he had encountered the old man, leading Mucheok to realize that what he experienced was more than just a dream. To his surprise, when Bigajong scanned him, he received an unexpected A grade. Inside the training chamber, Jongjihan enlightened Mucheok about the remarkable powers hidden within the records of the Abyss Library. These scripts could be used to launch powerful attacks against enemies or provide aid to allies. Eager to test his own skills and unsure of their effectiveness, Mucheok decided to demonstrate them to Jongjihan. Nervous but determined, he gave it his all. As Mucheok conversed innocently with the team leader, Jicheok sensed that his younger brother was concealing something. Like a writer and artist, Jicheok encouraged him to express what was on his mind. Mucheok followed his advice, practicing and drawing the vivid images that flowed through his thoughts. In doing so, he began to manifest the power of Iron Body, inspired by Shelton's skills. Feeling his body harden like steel, Mucheok marveled at the incredible ability he had recorded in his mind. Though he could only recognize a few scripts at this early stage: Iron Body, Haste, Dense, and Light, Jongjihan recognized Mucheok's immense potential, even if it wasn't enough for an A grade. Jincheok noticed a peculiar look on his brother's face, as if he were pretending innocence or harboring a hidden secret. Perhaps Jongjihan hadn't explicitly revealed everything. Nevertheless, Jincheok chose not to argue with the leader, acknowledging that he was still an A-grade awakener. Surprising the siblings, Mucheok requested the contract to be signed, despite them being unaware of its contents. While Jongjihan expected Mucheok to reject the contract, deeming the training unfair, Mucheok viewed it as a fair distribution of rights and interests between both parties. Moreover, Mucheok saw signing the contract as advantageous, as it would allow him to accompany his brother Jincheok into dangerous dungeons. They would ride together and face whatever challenges lay ahead, side by side. For Mucheok, the primary focus was his newfound status as an official awakener, having achieved an A grade in an instant. Jincheok admired his brother's reasoning, even if it meant signing the contract without full knowledge of its terms. Arguing further about the contract seemed futile. Jongjihan, the team leader, prepared the contract and inquired about Mucheok's condition, as he was due to take a hunter examination, which commenced with a written test. Mucheok confidently assured him that he had never scored poorly in any examination before. Jincheok, always the high achiever in national rankings, provided further reassurance, putting Mucheok's worries at ease. With his background as a law student from Korea's finest university, Young Ji-han concurred that Mucheok had nothing to worry about. Jincheok's happiness increased, having dominated Shelton and showcasing exceptional skills without sustaining any injuries. Mucheok was astounded by his brother's skill and abilities. Before we continue, let's take a moment to shout out Anime Edits YTS, who commented, "Hey bro," on our Boss Reincarnate's video. Thanks for commenting. After all the crazy events that unfolded, Mucheok was still scratching his head, trying to make sense of the mysterious letter he received, dubbed Chaos. So he turned to his brother, Jincheok, and asked him how many gods had contacted him. Jincheok, utterly baffled by his brother's question, wondered aloud what the letter had to do with Mucheok. It dawned on him that perhaps this was the reason why gods related to his own abilities had been reaching out to him. Mucheok, curious if Jincheok had experienced anything similar with gods showing interest in him, inquired about his brother's encounters. Jincheok shared that initially, a few gods had reached out, but later, he only received a note stating that they were checking the system and that he should wait for a new patch. He also advised Mucheok that the ability system itself had always been strange from the beginning. Jincheok suggested they grab a bite to eat, but Mucheok couldn't shake the feeling that the system was intentionally blocking him from contacting other gods. This confused Jincheok, and he pressed for an explanation. However, Mucheok backtracked and withdrew his words, realizing how unlikely it was. He didn't want to burden his brother with his thoughts, especially since there was no specific name popping up on his system. But the gods who had chosen Mucheok all seemed connected to a mysterious figure called Four Eyes Record the Truths, whom they suspected to be Changji due to the related messages. Changji was rumored to have invented the Chinese writing system and was considered a powerful god, even referred to as a deity. Although his true identity remained a mystery, one thing was clear. Changji held immense power, and Mucheok might gain a skill related to Chinese characters. This meant there was great potential for Mucheok's awakening to reach an A-class level. Discussing the gods further, Jincheok playfully wondered if he could acquire ancient magic skills from the god of magic in Egypt, known as Thoth. Mucheok, having discovered the hieroglyphs of Egypt, believed it was possible, given Thoth's association with knowledge and magic. Jincheok couldn't believe the fascinating connection between the Chaos Letter and the Asian gods reaching out to his brother. One particular god, Huang Hui, was especially familiar to both brothers because whenever Hangul, the Korean writing system, was mentioned, they couldn't help but think of him. Mucheok also learned that even non-gods had the ability to choose a hunter. With Egyptian hieroglyphs, ancient Chinese Hanja, and Hangul in the mix, Mucheok was left wondering about Jincheok's own abilities. Jincheok had heard legends of how an ordinary human couldn't challenge the power of a god, but the brothers had to make a choice. Mucheok was set on selecting King Sejong, the creator of Hangul, as his god, since they were currently using characters invented by King Sejong. It made sense to receive a bonus for any actions related to Hangul. Jincheok agreed, recognizing the advantage of having abilities aligned with their own culture. Besides, Mucheok felt an inexplicable pull to follow King Sejong. A few weeks passed, and the day of the practical hunter examination arrived in Seoul. The venue was crowded with reporters, eager to cover the event. Mucheok anticipated that the whole country must be curious about Jincheok, the rookie awakener who effortlessly sparred with Shelton and became a viral sensation. It was clear that Jincheok had gained admiration and popularity from countless people, as evidenced by the endless stream of likes on his video. To their surprise and delight, the CEO himself made an appearance at the venue. The CEO happily informed Jincheok that his video had reached the top spot in the recommended videos list. Admiring Jincheok's ability to captivate the nation with every move, the CEO expressed his high expectations. Jincheok hadn't expected his video to go viral or the consequences of his newfound fame. He knew life wouldn't be peaceful anymore. Jeonjong, seizing this opportunity, had devised a plan. With Jincheok's video going viral, they now had a valid reason to remove Shelton, who had caused numerous problems despite being a mediocre hunter. Even Jincheok's uncle agreed that it was for the best. Jeonjong saw the situation as advantageous because everyone's attention was now focused on Jincheok. The CEO noticed numerous fans of Jincheok, belonging to a fan club amusingly named Index Finger, and even took a photo with them. The joy Jincheok experienced exceeded their expectations, and Jeonjong had high hopes for him. As the examination coordinator announced that the candidates could proceed to the examination room, Jincheok was about to leave when Jeonjong stopped him. He had brought someone from Jongjin, branch company of the Jonga family, who might be able to assist Jincheok during the hunter's exam. Jincheok couldn't fathom why he would need help, but Jeonjong introduced a staff member who could potentially be be a valuable asset. Suddenly, memories of Jinchuk's days as a hunter's assistant, merely cleaning up monster carcasses, flooded his mind. Now, an incredible opportunity had presented itself, and Jinchuk was determined to pass the hunter's examination. On examination day, the air buzzes with nervous energy as everyone anxiously awaits their turn, but none more so than Jinchuk. His nerves are reaching unexpected heights, making him a bundle of jitters. As the examiners shuffle into the changing room, they transform into their sleek inspection suits, ready to embark on their assigned tasks in the inspection room. In this space, the hunters' bodies will undergo a basic inspection, including tests for lung capacity and eyesight. Now it's Jinchuk's turn to step into the basic inspection room. Curiosity piqued, he can't help but wonder about the mysterious contraption he's about to encounter. With a mix of anticipation and confusion, he queries the inspector about the machine's purpose. To his surprise, the inspector reveals that it measures a hunter's strength. But what does that mean? Is it a measure of levels or total stats? Jinchuk's mind races with questions. Instructed to lie still for a minute, Jinchuk finds himself in a moment of puzzlement. He wants to understand what the inspector means, but the only response he receives is a directive to remain motionless until instructed otherwise. The next phase awaits. The practical test. In the waiting room, hunters select suits appropriate for the upcoming test, while those without personal suits don the basic ones provided. Jinchuk's mind wanders, questioning the preparedness of the company in providing suits for the participants. Just as his thoughts are interrupted, someone calls out to him. It's a girl, asking if the basic inspection is complete, because CEO Jian Zhong has something to give Jinchuk. Appreciative yet unsure, Jinchuk accepts the unexpected gift. The girl explains that it's an officially approved test suit made from the resilient skin of a black ogre and crafted by a renowned Italian artisan. While he humbly receives the present, Jinchuk can't help but think that Jian Zhong's extravagant gesture was unnecessary. But the girl isn't done yet. She also hands him a watch, assuring him that it's in perfect condition to wear. Jinchuk examines the watch, expecting more than meets the eye from an item originating in another world. However, he concludes that its only notable quality is its durability, designed to withstand impact. Nonetheless, he appreciates the sentiment behind the gifts. In the waiting room for the practical test, participants don their suits, feeling a comfortable fit that instills confidence. Jinchuk notices that many others have also brought their own suits, prepared for this momentous occasion. Amidst the preparations, a scene unfolds. A furious official berates an innocent-looking man, gripping him with a single hand and scolding him for a simple mistake involving ice and a drink. Frustration fills the official's voice as he condemns his colleagues, declaring their insufferable attitudes. Unable to bear witness to such aggression, Jinchuk steps in to defuse the situation, fearing for the innocent man's safety. Ignoring the official's demand to know his identity, Jinchuk pleads for mercy, reminding the official that the man's identity is inconsequential. The official's anger flares, convinced that everyone is out to provoke him, and he confronts Jinchuk, questioning if he knows who he is. Without hesitation, Jinchuk places his hand on the official's arm, urging him to release the innocent man. Surprisingly, the official acknowledges Jinchuk's impressive stats, having seen his skills in a Shelton video. As tension mounts, the official abruptly sets fire to the innocent man. What will happen next? Find out next time by staying tuned for our future recaps. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more great recaps.